I'm Dave Coons with Millwork Preservation, and we're going to do just a little bit of some ideas here on stripping windows and some of the procedures we use. We do different things at different times depending on the paint, how much is on there. What Wes is doing here is the windows, we bag them up from the job site to encapsulate any lead dust or any other contaminants. We bring them to the shop here, and then we actually dip them in a tank, and that takes off any dust or any residue like that there. So this would be the first step once they get here and they've already been identified at the site, what window number and everything like that, what glass is already currently broken. So he just dips them in there, we just pull them out. So we'll just set that window aside. And then they would go to one of several different options as far as stripping the paint. We also use a vacuum system with a HEPA filter to reduce the dust, make it safe on that end. So what we're getting ready to do here is open our steam box. This is one method we use. We have a round sash in here. It goes to a historic project, and it was wider than the steam box, and so we've improvised with some styrofoam in order to get it in. So we're going to pull this sash out, and the first thing we're going to do is start removing the putty around the glass, because it is soft and we want to get it out first. So we'll remove the putty. Once the putty's out, then we will scrape what comes off easily on the rest of it. And what this steam does, it encapsulates any dust. There's no dust coming off. It softens the putty to the point it'll come right out. And then anything that's we can still scrape off easily, we'll go ahead and scrape it off now also after the putty's out. This is one of the methods that over the many years we prefer this method for some things. You'll notice here how soft the putty is, and it just really softens it up. And this sash was in probably 35 minutes initially, once the steamer's heated up. It doesn't normally quite need that long, it'll vary just a little bit. The residue, this putty, anything lead-based, goes into plastic bags, and it goes to hazardous waste landfill. See what Wes is doing there. They're getting most of the putty out, and then he's scraping anything that has softened on the initial loading. This particular scraper I'm using is a carbide tipped, reversible, has two edges. That's one method to use. The initial bulk will come off, and then they go back in again for a final. Once they're scraped here and the putty's out, then the glazing points will come out and the glass will come out. The glass will be numbered per light opening, so it'll go back right where it was at. And there normally is some glass breakage just due to getting it out and the glass being fragile. So the glass is replaced with salvaged glass from other historic windows or period restoration glass. It would have the same type of look and distortion. Okay, we're going to move over to another option, which is a SpeedHeater infrared system. And Andy turned it on. When you initially turn it on, it takes just a little bit to get it heated up. Once it's heated up, an area gets ready to scrape. You move the heater to another location, and it's heating that while you're scraping the previous. There is also some protection needed as far as the glass. If too much heat is directed down onto it, it can crack the glass. Andy's got that setting to where it's pointing straight down. There's an arm on here that sometimes it will, we set it in an angle also. And what we'll see here in just a little bit is that it'll start bubbling up the paint, and then he'll scrape that off, move it to a new location, and just keep working. Here, what I want you to see here is how the paint bubbles, and the more layers of paint, in some cases, seems to come off even better than less, because it bubbles up and it releases from the bottom side right against the wood. Very little fumes associated with this. It's 200 to 400 degrees, not like a heat gun, which can be up to 1400. Okay, we're about ready here to take it off. You want to let it get to the point that it's actually smoking a little bit. So this actually doesn't have as many layers as some. And you'll notice Andy moved that to another location. It's heating while he scrapes this. The preferred scrapers, although there's others, these are made in Sweden. They're extremely sharp. They're resharpened. They're a steel scraper. So you can see there kind of what it's done.